Collaboration really has been key in making the branch as successful as it has been. The branch really utilizes this collaborative effort to keep our skilled workforce local. And that's the primary goal of why Church Mutual partnered with the Wausau Chamber of Commerce and with NTC to help host the branch. It's really geared to help keep our skilled workforce local. My father just retired last week, and I attended his retirement party. And in doing that, I got to say a few words. And one of the sayings that he was known for was, teamwork makes the dream work. And I know that this collaborative effort between the higher education institutions, the community, the business partners that are in the room, are part of that teamwork that's really making this dream work. So without further ado, I would like to welcome up Dr. Lori Weyers, who knows more than anyone probably in this room about what it takes to be collaborative, and I'll allow her to say a few words.
Thanks, Chris. Well, good evening. I was just amazed when I walked in to see all the people here this evening, and that we really appreciate it. And I think one of the things that we're most proud of at NTC is we truly believe in relationships, relationships, relationships. And we have been so blessed by the partnerships that we've had with our business community, our special friends from the Chamber, all the agencies that have made the college that we are today. We would not be here without any of you, and you've been wonderful. I hope you like our new Timberwolf Conference Center. We're very proud of it. I was just telling Romy right before the event started that we have the most wonderful facilities team, and what they can do with very little money, because they'll come and ask me for something, and I'll say, what am I, made out of money? And then I think, oh my gosh, you sound like my father. Because he used to say that to me all the time. And, but we're very proud of our college and the successes we've had, and I just want to share a few things and then share with you about why I'm so impressed with the group of students that we're going to talk about here this evening. And I talked to our students last week at our student banquet, but there's something special about this group of students, and I want to comment a little bit about that. But NTC is very proud to share with you this evening that we've been ranked one of the top 150 community colleges in our country. We are the only one recognized in the state of Wisconsin, so we're extremely proud of that. And it's not an award you can go out and apply for. This agency goes, they first of all check with Department of Ed, and they look at our results. They want to see how many students that we're placing, how many retained, what are we doing to keep students in our communities. Then they go and talk to people in the community, which we don't know who they talk to, but if they talk to you, thank you for your support. And then they come back and they tell you, based on this scale, that you had so many points. And so there's about 1,300 community colleges in the country, and then you count all the four-year and the private colleges, and the numbers are in the thousands. So for us to be ranked in the top 150 is a great honor, and it's because of all of you and because of the wonderful students that we get the opportunity to work with every day. We're also very proud of the fact that we have the only virtual college of the 16 technical colleges, and we were quite surprised when we got a call from Best Colleges of America that said we were ranked the #1 best college in Wisconsin. And then we just got notified about a month ago that we're the #4 best college in the nation. So again, we're very like, wow, we didn't apply for that either. And then the other thing that I think we're most proud of, and you'll see that from some of our students that will talk with you tonight, that we have a Phi Theta Kappa leadership organization. And they just came back from Nashville, the national conference, and again, being ranked in the top 100 Phi Theta Kappa organizations in the country, and the top 50 on their community and service projects. And that kind of leads me into my point about the special group of students. In the top 50 in the nation on giving community service projects. When I talked to the students last week, NTC has become a better college because of the students at our college. They have made us better. They have improved our image. They have upped all of our game because they are so very, very talented. They are so very, very special, creative. But the one thing that I admire most about them is they truly believe in community, honor, integrity, hard work, and giving back. And I can't imagine any employer sitting here this evening that would not want that kind of an employee. We were so impressed with two of these students that NTC hired them. Michaela, who was in the first branch group, who spoke and gave a presentation. We hired her to go out and talk to students in the high schools on youth apprenticeship and getting involved with companies and finding out what you want to do. And so she's working for us while she continues her baccalaureate degree at UW-Stevens Point. So she's working part-time for us and continuing her career, and again, it's in the service area. And then we were so impressed with another student who is president of our Honor Society, the one that gives back to the top 50 in the nation for service projects, and that's Riley Damrow sitting right over there. And she's our new career coach, and she will be going out into the high schools to recruit and continue bringing more students to NTC. Because I think we all know that 97% of our graduates stay in the area. 97%. So they stay in central Wisconsin. We've tried to really do things that will bring students here and to stay here. I think you'll probably see some digging going on, and they're going to be very upset because it's raining again. But we partnered with a private developer, and I think the city council in Romey was very instrumental in helping us get this through. So we will now have Timberwolf Suites starting in the fall. So we have student housing available. No tax dollars because we partnered with a private developer. And we will now be able to have 175 students that can live here right on campus. That has already impacted us where we have 160 students that are coming from outside of our district this fall to our college. And usually statistics show when people come somewhere to go to college, they stay where they went to college. We're also partnering up with UW-Oshkosh to have in Upper Iowa so that when you come here for our nursing program, you will dual enroll at NTC and UW-Oshkosh or Upper Iowa, and you'll get your baccalaureate degree right here. So you do the first 2 years with us. For Upper Iowa, you go straight through and do a third year, and they use our faculty, and you get your BSN in 3 years. If you choose the UWO option, you then will go with us here for 3 years, and UWO has agreed to come here and do the 4th year. Because if you go to UWO, they don't come back, and we need to keep people here. I think many of you know about our Michigan Tech partnership, and that we have the engineering program here, and again, working to keep students here. But when you realize, and you know why we're doing some of these things? Because the students sat down and talked to me and told me what was important to them. They said we need housing, we need affordable housing. They said we want to have more collegial environment. We really tried to up our game to help them. And so they have made a difference. But what impresses me is the number of hours they commit to this community, the service things they do on an ongoing basis. And you know, this is something they're going to put on their resume, but the time and energy that they put into this is unbelievable. We're starting a branch academy this summer with our high school students, and I didn't think we were going to get any takers, and we have 15 students that are going to come in one night a week, and NPC is going to be the sponsor, and they're going to improve a process at our college. And if it works, we want to open that up and have it with more and more people in the business community as well. And really, I wish I could take credit for the idea, but I can't. It was all Kimberly Reed and her brilliance in what she does with this every single day. So I think that it is known that many of the branch alumni are staying in central Wisconsin. They're starting their careers in central Wisconsin. They have met companies, and many of you who've mentored, thank you, thank you, thank you. They have had a wonderful experience, and they now have someone that they can talk to about what are the important things as they continue their career. And also, I don't know, I have to add too that I can tell you that we could not have a better business partner than Church Mutual Insurance Company, and they're sitting right in that role. They have been absolutely wonderful, not only with the branch. I remember when Rich came to me and said, I saw the Commons in Milwaukee and I want to bring it here. And he said, I'm willing to get this started. I'd like you, Lori, to get this going and to help the other higher ed institutions to work together so that we can really move forward. I said the good news is we already work quite well together in higher ed, so that made it pretty easy for us to get together because we were doing that already and sharing resources, so that was a good thing. But Church Mutual, you're special. You're a special company, very community-minded, service-oriented. And I want you to know that when you look at these students tonight coming from UWMC, Nicolet, UWSP and NTC, that these are the most wonderful group of students that anyone could have the opportunity to work with. And we're very, very proud of each and every one of them. I'd like to personally thank the Chamber, and Renee is here. And I'm giving my congratulations to all of the students on behalf of Dave Ekman. He is at another graduation activity tonight, and I promised him I would share that. But I think what this is something that has really has made NTC a better college. I know my other colleagues at higher ed have seen the importance of it as well. And what this, again, bringing business and education and the chambers together to work on a common goal to increase the number of people that we will have available to continue this wonderful community to grow and to prosper and to keep the talent here in central Wisconsin. And I think this is a real effort to do that. But you know, it takes a champion, and we have 3 of them, to make any project go. It takes a champion. There's always room in the front, but nobody likes to sit there because, you know, church people always want to sit in the back, but feel free to come on up here if you want. But you know, it takes champions to make anything work. And I remember after Rich came to see me, I had a conversation with a couple people here, and I said, I need you to really step up and work on this and make us proud and work well with our other partners at the higher ed. And I want to thank Bobby Damrell and Chris Severson for their leadership, because without that, we wouldn't be here tonight. I want to thank them very much. And I do think that students know that a good teacher, a good person that you can work with makes all the difference. And we decided that when we were going to go into this, we wanted our businesses to be proud of us. We wanted to have a great relationship continuing with our higher ed. We knew we had to pick our very best, and we did that. We picked our very best. And so it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you NTC's very best, Kimberly Reed. She's a hard act to follow. Thank you, Lori. I'd like to start by thanking everybody that took part in this. I don't do this alone. I do this with a number of people that help. Craig and Dana were there every week helping the students, guiding them and giving them their expert opinions, expert advice on how to move forward. We have our team, our business mentors that came every week. So we had Leah, Robin came, and Deb, that's right, Deb. I saw Deb a couple times, I'm sorry. And then Mike came from Aero Global. So I also really want to give thanks to the team, the students. So when we first interviewed these students and people were signing up for this, I thought that the majority of the students would do this for credit. What are they going to get out of it? What WeFM is what a lot of the people say millennials are all about. Is what's in it for me. When I was going through our cohort and I said, okay, who's doing this for internship credit? I need to figure out who has to do what. I had actually 2 students only out of this entire group that were looking to do this for credit. The rest of the students signed up just to get the experience, which should tell you how wonderful this experience is for them. They had 2 completely different projects that they got to work on, and they had free reign on both projects. They put a lot of time and effort into doing the research to figure out exactly, the companies bring forward and say this is what our project is, this is what our concern is, but the students have to do their due diligence to do the research to find out where is the problem originating from. What directions do we have to go for solution? It isn't just people guiding them in the right direction. They have the ability to go anywhere to solve this problem any way that they can possibly come up with. So their imagination is basically the boundary for what they can do to solve the problems. And they really did reach out and find what these companies were struggling with and how they could encourage them to move in a direction that they themselves didn't know that they could go. And it was very surprising. Both of the companies are very happy with the solution. They got to practice their pitch last week, which was brief, and they spent a whole week doing more practice. But the mentors came back, the business mentors came back, and they were like, we are so happy with what they've come up with. One of them is, as you'll hear from them directly,
happy to move forward with what they're doing. They've got 2 different options to go with, but the students came up with something they themselves didn't even consider. The other team dug deep into the company's culture to figure out a direction for them to go and how they can solve their problem. It is an invaluable experience. I teach internship as a traditional class, and my students don't get anywhere near this type of experience going through a traditional internship. It ends up being more of a, how can we fill the 120 hours that we have to have the student here for, as opposed to these students get to lead their own project. They get to do their own research. They get to identify the direction that they're moving. They're their own project managers, and it's phenomenal, the experience they get. It is wonderful to watch them grow throughout the entire process. I always tell them they have to trust the process, and they do. These 2 teams actually did a really good job of trusting it from the beginning, which was nice, but they learned, I'll let them share what they've learned, because each team has a lot of information. The presentations that they give aren't going to be all-encompassing in the information that they have to share. It's a brief glimpse at what product they've come up with based on the project they've been given. If you have additional information, please feel free to stop by. Both teams are available with a lot more information to share. Some directions that they considered going that they didn't go. You can ask them questions about their research. You can ask them questions about who they talked to, where they went to gather information. So please take the time to talk to both of the teams afterwards, because again, their presentation is brief in an attempt to get all of the information pushed through. So